Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this video is coming on my channel a little over a month and a half since I uploaded my last video. But as you would have seen on the title and the thumbnail, there was a lot going on in my life and I had to take a few major decisions, and I wanted to be away from social media to understand my own thoughts, away from the noise, and so I decided to cut myself off a little bit. And yeah, had I've gone through a lot in the last couple of weeks. So in today's video, I just want to share my experience and my journey with you and my thought process. Just give you a quick life update. The reason is that even though this is a little difficult topic for me to talk about, the reason I feel like I should talk about this is because I'm sure there are people out there who are going through things that are similar to mine, and probably maybe hearing my experience might make them a little bit more comfortable or may make them feel a little less lonely, and that's my intention. So yeah, in today's video I just want to give you a quick life update. So, as you would have seen on the title, I recently went through hysterectomy, which is a major surgery to get my uterus out. And there was a lot that was going on behind the scenes, because of which I had to come to this decision. Obviously, it was not an easy decision to make, right? Because in the traditional sense of the word, I don't have a family yet. I'm not a mother, and of course, not having a uterus means definitively that at least I won't ever be able to carry a pregnancy. So this wasn't an easy decision or a light decision or something that I just woke up one day and decided to do. There was a lot that led up to this, and I want to share that story with you. So I think this is something that I've mentioned a lot on my different social media platforms, probably not so much on YouTube, but on Instagram. I've mentioned over many years that my periods have always been debilitating almost. Like I feel like I used to live only 10 days in a month, and the next rest 20 days would go into active periods or PMS or PMDD almost, and it was just a very, very terrible way of living life. I feel like I was constantly under anxiety about getting my next period, and the PMS was terrible, and I was just going through a lot. And my periods were always, honestly, they were never the best. Even as a child, I think after a few years of getting my first period, my periods started becoming extremely painful, and since then they remain painful, but I just assumed that is how life is and that's how things are for everybody, and I kind of made peace with it. But I think while approaching 30, by the time I started approaching 30, things got like a lot out of hand, very, very out of hand, where like the amount of blood that I would lose every month was so much that I became chronically anemic, and like my hemoglobin every month would drop to like 6, and I would have to get regular IV infusions, or there were times when even blood transfusions were discussed. So in my head, I kind of realized that this is no way to live life. That is what I started feeling at the end of the day. That if this is life where I'm living 10 days in a month, it doesn't seem right. It doesn't feel right, because I'm a human being with like a lot of dreams and ambitions, and there are things that I want to do in life. And how is a person supposed to be okay for 10 days and then just like be bedridden almost, and in pain, in severe pain and agony for the rest of 20 days, right? So it just never felt like the right way to live life to me. It's not like I never paid attention to the issue. I went to a lot of doctors, gynecologists. Sadly, they were dismissive of the problem. They said, okay, here's a painkiller, take it every month and it should be okay, or here's a medicine that would reduce your bleeding a little bit. And those were the kind of things that I got as band-aid solutions to most of the things. But then like many years ago, 7-8 years ago, I strongly recommended, I suggested the doctor that I want to go through an ultrasound to figure out what even the issue is. And with the ultrasound, we were able to find that I had a lot of fibroids in my uterus. 7-8 years ago, they were not as big in size, but they were still many, meaning they said that there were like 3-4 big ones, like relatively big ones, but the uterus had a lot of seedling fibroids which had a tendency to grow a lot. And fibroids are kind of genetic in my family also, where like my mom side of family, my mommy, my masi, and a lot of my cousins, they've all had this problem. So I kind of like it wasn't a shock to me that this is happening with me as well. I tried everything, yeah, Ayurveda, I tried homeopathy, I tried acupressure, I tried everything, but somehow this problem was just not getting solved. And every year with my yearly ultrasound, I noticed that the size of the fibroid was just growing and growing and growing. And like I mentioned, as I approached 30, my periods became just terrible. Like it was the worst phase of my life, and like I was just in anxiety throughout the month, either about the PMS or the periods or something or the other, right? So then I finally decided, end of 2024 is when my hemoglobin started dropping to 6 after every period cycle, and I was getting IV infusions, and it just felt wrong. It just felt like this is not okay. This is not how I want to live. And that's when I went on a search with a lot of gynecologists, and I spoke to many of them. A lot of them were like entirely dismissive. They're like, you don't have a kid yet, so we can't do anything about it. You will have to kind of deal with this. And I thought that was very dismissive. Like I feel like more priority was being put on an unborn child than my own life, the quality of my own life. And it felt like I felt defeated. I felt like, how was this the kind of medical care or the medical system that we have in our country? And it just didn't feel like the right thing to me. So I kept looking. This time I didn't give up. I was like, this is not okay. And, I only had 10 days in a month. So every 10 days that I had, I would go out and meet a lot of different gynecologists. And finally, I found a couple of doctors who kind of understood me, who spoke to me about a lot of different solutions that were available to me, some less permanent, some more definitive. And it was on me. They left it on me. They were like, it's your body and you have to decide, so choose whatever feels right to you. So there was endometrial ablation, which would also potentially end the idea of me ever carrying a pregnancy. There was uterine artery embolization, which would shrink the size of uteruses. There was myomectomy, which would surgically remove all the fibroids that I have. But the problem with all of these solutions was, I have a tendency, like in general, my uterus has a tendency to have a lot of fibroids because there are so many seedlings, etc. Right? So even after removing them, chances are within 6 months, 1 year, whatever, they would come back. And that has been the case with most other women. Like I said, genetically in my family also, even my mother had the same problem. So I knew that, just temporarily removing the fibroids, I don't know how long that was going to go, but I was still hoping to consider that as a solution, just to try it out first. But then there was something that I took opinions from a couple of different doctors, and all of them told me that my uterus had become the size of a for 6 month pregnancy, because the fibroids were that big. They were like 7 centimeter, 6 centimeter, like big fibroids throughout the uterus, like many of them. So they told me that, even if we remove all the fibroids, there would be so much scar tissue in the uterus, and we can't possibly take out every single fibroid, because there are just so many. And because of so many scar tissues, pregnancy would either become impossible or extremely difficult, highly risky, where there would be chances of, having like some kind of rupture in the uterus when the baby is growing, whatever. So I don't know. I looked at all of this. I considered all the options. And in my head, I was like, at the end of it, I was just tired. I was like, most of the solutions are in a way pushing me in the direction of, I will either not be able to have a child anymore, or whatever. It's a small solution, and the things would come back in a few months' time. And by that time I felt like I had bled enough for 2 lifetimes, and I just didn't want this terrible, terrible way of life anymore. And so I discussed with my husband. Obviously, this wasn't a decision that we took lightly. I had to have a discussion with my husband on this, because obviously we were deciding something that would impact both of us. And thankfully, my husband is a very supportive person. And I told him that this is what I want. I think hysterectomy, which is removing the uterus itself, seems like the most logical solution to me, because any other option also is practically like, yes, I will still have my uterus, but they are practically saying that even after that, not like my uterus is going to be very viable for a pregnancy. Paritosh told me that, listen, it's your body. You are going through whatever you are going through, and I've seen you go through whatever you've gone through in the last few years. And he told me, you decide, it's your decision, whatever it is, I'm there with you, I'm here to support you. And that gave me a lot of strength. And then I spoke to my mother, and I also spoke to my in-laws, and I told them that this is my decision. I'm very blessed and very grateful that every single person in my family came in my support, and they said, just get done whatever you have to get done. We've seen you in too much pain, we've seen you like literally be depressed for 20 days in a month and literally be in so much pain and agony, that they were like, anything that solves this problem for you, please go ahead and do it. It's your body, you have to be happy as a person. And I there were a lot of hormone solutions that were available, like I could get like a IUD or a Mirena or whatever. I wasn't allowed, because I also have another condition called IIH, which was something that I've discussed a lot in my other videos. Because of that condition and that tendency, my neurologist strictly gave in writing to all my gynecologists that I was not allowed to undergo any hormonal treatment. It was not possible, because that would trigger IIH, which puts an impact on my vision, which puts an impact on like my headaches and all. They get very badly triggered, which is intracranial hypertension. So hormones were out of picture, right? Literally every single possibility that was available in front of me, I tried to figure that out, and nothing seemed to be the right option except hysterectomy, which is getting my uterus out. And so with the support from every single person around me, I had to take this difficult decision to let go, and and just decide that it's okay. Maybe I wouldn't experience pregnancy or motherhood in the traditional sense of the word. I would obviously never be able to carry a child myself, but if I'm not a happy human being, how was I ever going to be a happy mother anyway? So I had to take that decision, and we finally decided, and we found a really good doctor, a great laparoscopic surgeon who was able to schedule me into surgery. And I finally went through the whole process, and yeah, the surgery went really well. That's on the bright side of things. I'm doing well. I'm recovering well. I'm only a week out of the surgery right now, but everything's going. The pain that I'm feeling from the surgery is literally nothing. I would call it 0 on 10 when it compares to the kind of period pain I used to have. And the energy that I have right now with all the blood loss stopping, and the anxiety going away of getting my next period, it's made me so happy, and I feel amazing after the surgery. Like, I literally woke up after the surgery in the surgical ICU as a happy person. I was dancing after the surgery. Like, I was on my bed clapping and telling my doctor, thank you so much for helping me escape a life that was so difficult for me to be in all the time. And yeah, I feel happy about my decision. Was it an easy decision? Like I've said many times, no, it wasn't. But I think whatever I was able to do was only because my husband, my in-laws, and my mother, and also every single person in my extended family gave me support for, and they said, go ahead, do it. It's your life, your body. You have all the rights to take the decision, and I'm so grateful for that. I do not take that lightly. I know a lot of women out there don't have this privilege at all. Yeah, so that's the life update. So the procedure that I had was, my uterus, my cervix, and my fallopian tubes are out. I still have my ovaries, which is the good part, which means my hormones will not be impacted. The biggest issue that people have with hysterectomy, especially traditionally, is when they used to take the ovaries out as well, and that would immediately put a person into menopause. But that's not the case with me. Since I have my ovaries, my hormone cycles are going to be normal. I will still have my ovulation every month. I will still release the egg. I will still go through PMS and everything. But just that all of this will not culminate into a dreadful, terrible, painful, the worst time of my life period. And that in itself is a big relief for me personally, because I was tired of being anemic. I was tired of having hemoglobin at 6, which is life threatening. 5, 6 hemoglobin is not a way to live life. I was sleeping all the time, in migraine, in a lot of pain, and it just wasn't right for me. And I feel happy now. I'm excited, and I'm happy to embrace 30 days of every month, to live a life that feels right to me, that feels fulfilling. I have all the time in the world now to focus on things that I want to do, and experiences that I want to have. And yeah, that's where I am. And the good thing about retaining my ovaries is that thankfully my ovarian health is excellent, and touch wood, it's in excellent condition. My follicles are still great. My AMH levels are high, which means surrogacy is still a very, very okay option for me. I mean, my eggs could be retrieved. I could freeze my eggs, and then we could take surrogacy route via IVF to have a child if we want our own biological child. Of course, adoption and a lot of other options are available for us as well, because Paritosh and I are not people who are completely dismissive about the idea of having a child in our lives. Yes, we are not ready right now, but we are not also ready to say no, that no, we don't want a child ever. So, but we are okay with having a child in our life in whatever way the universe has planned for us. I know that, Paritosh will be a great father, and I'll try to be a good mother. So whenever a child has to come in our life, I think the child will come. And but for that to happen, I don't have to live through hell every single month, and I have to be a happy person first in order for me to be a happy mother. So yeah, that's what's up in my life. A lot has happened. Of course, I'm fresh out of a surgery. This is a major surgery. When the doctor took out the uterus, he told us that it was so big in size. It was like a 6-month pregnancy size uterus, which is insane to me that I was carrying that with me. The fibroids that big were putting so much pressure on a lot of different organs of my body as well. So I'm just happy to be back healthy again and living and breathing. Feels like my body is happy. Yeah, so that's the life update. I'm sorry if this got a little TMI, and I'm sorry if this doesn't feel like the right option to some of you out there, but what's right for me is right for me. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for today. In my intention with this video was not to promote hysterectomy. I'm not saying every person who's dealing with bad period should just go out and get their uterus removed. Of course not. I'm not saying that. There are so many options out there. You will have to see what's the right option for you. For me, hormones were not an option. For me, because of the size of my fibroids, myomectomy wasn't an option. Nothing was an option realistically for me than getting the uterus out. So that's what I chose. But if you are in a condition like this, or if you're dealing with something, do see a doctor. Painful periods, terrible terrible PMS, all of that is not a way to live life. You will have to probably go through 10 bad gynecologists to probably arrive at a good one who will understand you, who will not dismiss your problems. But it's worth the fight. Do find a person who will listen to you, who will recommend the right solutions to you. Many solutions out there do not impact your fertility in any way. So do consider that. I considered everything and chose whatever was the best option for me. So yeah, I'm not promoting hysterectomy, but it was the right thing for me to do. And I thought, since you guys have been a part of my family for such a long time, I feel like this is such a big change in my life, and I am now in a new. I feel like I'm in a new era of life where I am coming to terms with the fact that I will never be pregnant, and I will never experience pregnancy. I will never have. I will never go through motherhood in the traditional sense of the word. So I am still coming to terms with all of that, but I have a very supportive support system with me, who are with me in every way. So I'm lucky, and thank you so much for hearing me out. I thought it was important for me to share all this with you, because you've been with me through so many different phases of my life, and I feel like this is a rebirth for me, and I'm a new person now, and I wanted you guys to be a part of this as well. So thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry if this got too personal or whatever it is. I am ready to face a lot of judgment. I know that I'm going to get a lot of judgment, especially from people who will say that I chose the easy way out, or I decided to prioritize me over having a family, or this is not what women are supposed to do. They are like, without being a mother, without being pregnant, your life is incomplete. And there's a lot of traditional thinking that will come my way, and I'm honestly ready for all the judgment that may come. I'm okay with that. Whatever is, I'm fine. The good thing is, before arriving at this decision, I did so much inner work. I journaled, I spoke to people, and I've really uh, come to a point where I'm okay with what I've done. I am not guilty. I'm not sad. I'm not angry. I don't feel like there's a loss. I am happy with what I've done. So when the judgment comes to me, I feel like I'll be able to handle that, because they're not the ones going through what I was going through. So they don't get to decide. I get to decide what I wanted to do and what was right for me. Honestly, I'm open to anything at this point. Putting this video out there as a person who doesn't have a kid, and choosing to choosing to go through hysterectomy. I have braced myself for any kind of judgment, and if that comes to me in the comment section of this video, I'll be okay with it. That's all I'm saying. So, but if you don't have anything nice to say, probably don't say anything at all. But that's all I wanted to share. Thank you so much for listening to me, and I will be back as soon as I'm healed in the next couple of weeks. I'll be back with more videos. I'll be spending time healing in Bangalore. So I'm in India, which is amazing, and I'm in Bangalore, which is my favorite city, one of my favorite cities in the country. So I'm so happy to be back here, and yeah, I will come back soon with more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for being a part of my family. Bye.